Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at a brand new Minecraft beta / preview, version 1.19 7023, and within this beta comes two of the brand new features for version 1.19.20, and we have got news about some more coming within the next 2 weeks. So how about we go ahead and jump right into it. So, for this first set of features, we are going to be taking a look at the brand new Archaeology. So, what you're going to need for Archaeology is a brush. You craft this with 2 sticks and 3 pieces of string. I would have expected feathers, but I guess string works just as well. You will then walk up to suspicious sand, which you can find around desert temples and desert wells. You will simply right-click on the suspicious sand. You will slowly brush it all away, and it should reveal a potted shard, such as these. Now, I was playing with this a little bit before I did this video, and I'm just going to show you a few more times. This does not seem to be currently dropping any items. I do not know what is up with this. I'm assuming this is just a giant bug. But, I mean, that's 3 in a row, and still nothing. So, yeah. Another thing, do be very careful around suspicious sand. In survival mode, this stuff breaks very quickly, and it's so fragile that it sounds like glass when you break it. Let me just go ahead and try this in survival real quick as a double check, because I never actually tried it in survival. But once again, there is still nothing, so I do not know what is up with that. But get another feature with the suspicious sand. Do be careful when you're mining for it, because if it falls, it just shatters. It's not like a normal block of sand where it falls and you're good. It shatters. So be very careful with that. Now, what you get from this is you get these pottery shards. There are 4 different types, and you can use them to make all of these different pots here. Now, in order to craft the pots, you can use 4 bricks to make a plain pot, which we now have right here. You can also go ahead and craft these with 1 of each pottery shard to make a lovely decorative pot like we have with these right here. The decorative pot will have a piece of your pottery shards on every single side of it, depending on what pieces you used to make it. Now, when it comes to making these pots, you could also just use 4 of the same pottery shards to get a pot with that same image on all 4 sides. Or you could make a pot with just, say, 3 sides brick and 1 side decorated. That gives you a pot with 1 picture and 3 blank sides. And you can do this any way you like. There is an immense amount of organization that you could do with this. Like right here, I just made yet another custom pot. And if I place this down, I have 2 pictures and 2 blank sides. You get a very large amount of customization with this feature, and there are plenty of fun building tips and tricks that you can do with it. Since the pot's hitbox is not completely the same as its texture, this little bump or spot on the top of it here, this actually doesn't have a hitbox. It's not part of the hitbox. You can go right through it, and because of that reason, you can place blocks on top of it, such as carpet and trapdoors, which you can use to make like piping features or something. But another cool feature of this is you can take your, another fun feature of this is you can take your flower pots, and when you place them on top of these pots, they are the exact same size as the little bump or spout on the top of the pot, and it's just a little bit taller. But then what you can do is put bamboo or azalea, whatever you want in there. And what I did here is I used azalea flowering bushes, and I used some leaves on top to make these very cool potted hedges. There is plenty of customization, all kinds of options that you can do with these. Not to mention that you can stack these on top of each other, like so. So you could even make some cool pillar designs. And then there is the bottom texture, in case you wanted to use it for like a roof. I would not recommend though, because you do get that gap in between, but you could do some cool stuff with it. Now, with these pots, when you are in survival, You can break them with your fist, and that just gives you the pot. That goes for all these different pots, even decorated. But if you use a tool, any tool, when you break that pot, you will get all the bits back. A blank pot, you get the brick, or you can break a decorated one and you will get all of the different pottery shards back. And then you can go ahead and customize it once again, however you please. That is going to be all for the pottery and archaeology, so how about we go ahead and take a look at this next lovely feature. So next up, we have everybody's favorite, the Sniffer. It has actually been added, yes. Now in order to gain access to the Sniffer, if you are playing in the previews, you do have to actually go into the options menu for your world settings and select the Sniffer toggle. Otherwise, the Sniffer will not actually be in your worlds. But I did go ahead and do that, so we can grab our Sniffers. Your Sniffers are very large, actually. If we go ahead and spawn one in, take a look in third person, it is slightly taller than the player. But look at how cute he is! Absolutely adorable, with their big floppy ears. The Sniffer is technically a dinosaur, and it does sound like that as well. The Sniffer is an ancient mob that was voted in during the Minecraft Live. You will find the Sniffer eggs via Archaeology. You will be able to dig up the eggs and hatch them yourself. They will not naturally spawn, but currently there are no Sniffer eggs except for the spawn egg. The Sniffer is a rather lazy mob. They will just plop down on the ground, and they will mine, and they will dig in the ground, finding you brand new seeds. Now, this fella here isn't doing it. Maybe we'll catch him do it in a little bit. But they will sniff around in the ground and get you these torchflower seeds. Using these torchflower seeds, you can breed 2 Sniffers. And they will pop out a baby Sniffer, roughly the size of a pig. And you can also plant these torchflower seeds on farmland. We can go ahead and bone meal these, and that is how you will gain access to the brand new torch flower. Apparently, if you try to pick block it, though, you still just get... Once you have this torch flower, you can craft orange dye out of it. But this is definitely my favorite flower in all of Minecraft. This flower is so unique and beautiful, and technically, it is the only ancient flower in Minecraft. Now, with these torch flowers, you can of course put them in your flower pots. You can just place them on the ground as well. Or, you could use our trick from earlier, put down some decorative pots with flower pots on top, and put them in there. Kind of making it look like this flower starting to blossom out of the pot, if you're interested in that. But besides that, it's just a pretty flower. But I'm sure those who like to do landscaping will find hundreds of lovely uses for it. And I'm sure there's plenty more than this as of right now that people have discovered. I'm just not very creative with them. However, that is actually it for all of the new features that are related to 1.20. There are, of course, a few more just little bug changes that come in these betas and previews. So let's go ahead and take a look at those. Okay guys, so I've been sitting around trying to get one of these Sniffers to plop down on the ground and dig and find seeds so I can show you guys what it looks like. Unfortunately, I'm not having any luck. I have seen this guy doing some interesting stuff over here. Oh! Well, there you have it, guys. That is what it looks like when the Sniffer finds these torchflower seeds. That is actually very lucky. I have been sitting around for 15 minutes. I was about to give up. We have gotten very lucky today, guys. Alright guys, so I went ahead and cleaned up all the Sniffers. Let's take a look at these last 4 changes. So this first one, there was a bug with allays and leads. Previously, if you had a allay and you had it hold a lead, you could not put a lead on it unless you had a full stack. As you can see, that has been fixed because I have just leaded it with a single lead. I did not need to hold a full stack. Now this next one, there is a visual glitch with crossbows. If you loaded up your crossbow and you shot it, there is a glitch where it would still appear that it has an arrow in it even though it didn't. and you would, go ahead and try to shoot it, but it just wouldn't shoot because there wasn't actually anything in it, even though it said it had something in it. But that's been fixed. 3 arrows fired, and my crossbow is still empty in the hotbar, and appears empty in my hand. Next change, I didn't actually realize that we didn't have this in Bedrock. Villagers, whenever you punch them now, or hit them with a sword, whatever it is, will show angry particles. I never realized that we didn't have this feature in Bedrock. I don't know how I never realized it, but if we just beat up this villager, there's a bunch of angry particles. So, I mean, that's cool. I don't know how I didn't know we didn't have that. And for this last one, there's 2 with these guys. They have changed a bug where you can no longer push horses over fences that have carpet on top of them. I am pushing these horses as hard as possible. They will not go over the fence. I do not know if you're supposed to be able to ride horses over this, but you can ride the horse over the fence with carpet on it. You just can't push it over it. So, they fixed what they said they did. I don't know if that is supposed to be a feature or if that's a bug. And for the final feature, they have changed horse breeding once again. So now, when you breed 2 horses, as long as you have one with good speed and a good jump, the baby has a chance to have even better speed and even better jump. Basically meaning that if you do some work to find 2 good parents to start off with, and you put in the time and effort to breed them a bunch, you can actually go ahead and get a really good horse without needing to just find it. So, if you have tried breeding horses in the past to get a good baby and it hasn't worked, that's because it never did. But now it will. Anyways guys, that is going to be the end of today's video. Keep in mind that Mojang has officially announced every single feature for 1.20 as of now, and hopefully next week we will be getting the last 2 features that Bedrock doesn't quite have in the previews yet. One of those obviously being armor trimming if you haven't heard of it yet, and the other one being the cherry blossom tree biome. And since that will be coming soon, I will be covering it, and I do recommend that you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss those videos when they come out. Anyways guys, this has been Mr. Gaming Aquatic, and I'll see you next time. Bye!